Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast. Podcast.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Motocross Supercross podcast.
Episode 158. We got Oakland right around the corner this weekend, but first we got some big news to talk about. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
Well, yeah, we got a couple of things, a couple of updates for you guys in this episode. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know, do you want to be the
bearer of the bad news?
The bearer of bad news.
Sure, I'll start it off with Jason Anderson.
Yeah, might as well.
Injured in a practice crash. It looks like he broke his arm and a rib. I've seen a couple reports out there, but it looks like he's definitely hurt and he's out. Is that what you're hearing too?
Yeah, so the reigning champ, Jason Anderson, and the Rockstar Husqvarna, he sustained a practice crash after the last round that we just did, the round Anaheim 2. He broke his arm in a couple of places and also fractured a rib. Yeah, very, very bummish. Obviously, he was going through a tough time. He was lucky last year. He didn't get hurt. And I guess it's just time to pay duty, I guess. I don't know. Very unlucky for him. And, well, another one that's not going to be around for, they said, from 6 to 8 weeks. So we'll see what's going to happen. The real question is here, what are they going to do? Because their other 450 riders, actually, Zach Osborne, and he's also out. So I wonder what the decision is going to be regarding if they're going to bring a fill-in rider or they're just going to stay with the 250 and that's it. What do you think?
Dude, it's crazy because your first guess goes to Dean Wilson because they've already offered it to him, but he already turned down a fill-in ride. So I don't know. You would have to think Rockstar Husqvarna has a team out there for the Supercross. It would be weird if they weren't out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very hard situation for them. Yeah, what can they do? I mean, maybe they can call Ronnie.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say. I was like looking at people who ride Husqvarnas. First, I was gonna say we already talked about Dean Wilson, but then I was gonna say Factory Phil Nicoletti. So maybe him. We've seen him fill in with that team before. And then, Of course, we just talked to Ronnie Stewart on our last podcast. He rides at Husqvarna.
And he's making mains, so maybe put him, give him a chance. Give him a couple of races and see what he can do. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what they're going to do about this situation. Dean Wilson, who's sixth place currently in the points with 52 points. Jason Anderson right behind him in 7th place with 46 points. Yeah, very unfortunate for him. I guess the arm has been operated on, so he already has surgery on that. And like I mentioned, the recovery time is going to be from 6 to 8 weeks, so we won't expect the reigning champ to come back until April or so. That kind of sucks, man.
Yeah, that sucks really bad for Jason Anderson. I heard also the original reports were that he had internal injuries. Have you read anything more about that? Because I heard initially he had internal injuries, but then when I was reading all the articles, I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Is that the rib?
Only saw about the broken arm and, like I mentioned in a couple of places, and then the bruised rib. Other than that, I have not heard or read anything.
Dude, the outpouring of support for him online was like, it was like he got hurt really bad. It seemed like every single person was posting a picture with Jason Anderson. It was like he was done or something. Like it was really bad. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you break your arm in 2 places,
yeah, it was obviously bad crash.
That's pretty bad already, right there. And he's been struggling to find his groove. He's been struggling to find his rhythm. He's been struggling to just keep it up front. Not to be up front because we see him up front, just to keep it up front. And very, very, very sad news for Jason Anderson.
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to say is, I hate to say it like this, but how different will it be watching these races without Jason Anderson?
Jason Anderson, he's been up there, but he hasn't stayed up there. So if we looked at his finishes of his results, he's got one podium.
Yeah, he got 14th in Anaheim 1, but then he did get second in Glendale. And then he got 9th place in Anaheim, too, for the Triple Crown. So he hasn't had the greatest start to the season, but it's such big news that number one is not going to be out there. We talked about that speed versus being healthy, and it definitely looked like he was trying to take the healthy route. But
yeah, very unfortunate.
But yeah, it will be very interesting to see who they pick to fill in that ride because, yeah, looking at the results, there hasn't really been any other Husqvarnas out there besides Dean Wilson and Ronnie Stewart.
I'm curious. I'm just kind of waiting here to see what they're going to come up with. Somebody else is not going to be lining up this weekend. It's going to be Dylan Merriam, AGE Gas Monkey rider. He posted on his Instagram that sometimes things don't go our way. I've been trying to push through a back injury for the last 2 weeks, but it's only getting worse. At this time, I feel the smartest thing to do is to sit out a few rounds and get my body back healthy. It's a tough pill to swallow, but I'm nowhere near my normal self, and it's only making things worse. I will post a more accurate update in the next few days after I meet with the doctors again, and we can determine an accurate healing time frame.
Wow.
Huge thank you to everyone supporting me. I promise to make it up to you guys. Bad luck for Dylan Merriam, and he continues showing.
Yeah, we talked about how his start to the season was really rough, and that whole Gas Monkey team, except for Chris Blows, because they got Justin Starling too, and he also posted that we're trying to get back to where I was before A1. So if you remember, he went down, and he just wasn't sure if he was going to do Glendale, and then he did it, and it just seems like he's still struggling with some injuries too.
Yeah, it sucks for these guys. They look like a pretty decent team, and just to have the start that they've had, it's kind of sucky, you know. But someone that wasn't expected to be lining up this weekend in Oakland, but will be lining up is Justin Barcia, who sustained that big crash in the third main, I believe, of the Triple Crown.
Yep.
He was evaluated, and, you know, he had a bruised tailbone, and that sucks. That right there is a lot of pain when you bruise your tailbone. It's very uncontrollable. Yeah, dude, like, I've heard it before, and you feel like you're going to poop yourself. So, I feel you, Barcia. I feel you, but a little rest, and he will be back for Oakland.
He went down so hard. He fell out of the sky. He literally ejected off the bike in midair of one of the biggest jumps. He's so lucky. It's only his tailbone. Like, he looked so messed up. But you could tell the pain on his face, and now we all know what it was. It was literally a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. Somebody else that was questionable for lining up this weekend was Garrett Marchbanks after a couple of falls, I would say, in the Triple Crown. Not the greatest of race for the, I want to say for the Monster Energy Kawasaki team, but especially not for Garrett Marchbanks, who suffered a couple of little mishaps, as they'll say. But he will be lining up, and he's ready to go.
Yeah, he ended up getting 21st overall at that race. So it seemed like he was always on the ground. So did they say what happened to him, or just he's going to be good?
No, they just say it's good to go. He'll be lining up.
All right, good. That's good to hear. He's sitting in 12th place in the points right now. So you would figure him being a factory rider, he'd be doing a lot better. But yeah, I guess it is still early. Only 3 races in one bad weekend will do that to you. So there's still time for him to get back up there, but he's got to step it up just a little bit, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, so round 3 hits. There has been some big injuries happening already, but I have to say, like, overall, we're off to a good start, you know? It seems like this time last year we lost a bunch of riders and stuff, so if we can just try and keep everyone else a little healthy right now, that'll be good. But that's really good about Barcia being able to come back, because, like, I had to say, it just looked really bad. So
yeah, especially if you make the decision in middle of the air to jump off your bike. Yeah. And if you're doing that, you know, bad news. I mean, we can ask Roxanne, and we'll know Barcia.
Yeah, they must have known right away, too, how it wasn't too bad, because the way we said they just carried him off, like, under his armpit. So
yeah.
And they did it pretty fast, too. So good thing that it's nothing too bad, but maybe now that Anderson is out, it kind of gives maybe, like, Justin Hill or Seeley, or we can see one of these Plessinger even, really step up.
Or the 7 Deuce making it.
There we go. He was Ben one spot off. It's getting good. Oakland's always a good race. On our next podcast, we're going to be previewing this Oakland race as it is an open stadium. And last year, it was just super, super rutted and super nasty and technical. So it's always good. I can't wait for this weekend. Supercross is off to a great start of the season. The points are close in both classes. So just another race to see who's going to step up.
Yeah, the points are definitely close. Leader, Roxon and Nichols up by 2 points on second place, which is Tomac and McElrath.
Definitely sucks for Anderson. Multiple breaks in his arm. Definitely went down hard. So sucks for him. Heal up soon. Maybe we'll see him before the season's over. Maybe not.
Well, they said by April. I'm guessing he'll come back for a couple of the rounds at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely excited to see what's going to happen for the rest of the season.
Yep. Thanks everyone for listening to this short episode of the Motocross Supercross podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at MXSX Podcast. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.